Hello! Hello, hello. My name is Jean, and I am a knitter. And I am a knitter who, in 48 hours, will be in Miami, heading out on a cruise. I'm really looking forward to that. But one of the things I will be able to do on the cruise is lie on a chaise lounge with alcohol by my side that I can sip in small portions very slowly because I will also be knitting. I'm trying some different things. I'm going to talk about the notions that I will be traveling with. Now, normally I've got boxes and crates and vats and all kinds of things that are notions. But I am not taking hundreds of dollars worth of notions on a cruise so that I can lose them or misplace them or I don't know what. So this week, as I have been working on my shawl, I haven't been letting myself do very much. I've been working on getting set up and packing because as soon as I get back from the cruise, yes, I land on, Wednesday, and the movers come Thursday. Yeah, I plan that well. This is my little wrist dangly thing. It's got a expandable bracelet, which can be clipped on and off of a stab it through your yarn ball device, and you put it together. And this is one of the reasons I'm struggling with it. You put it together, and you can wear your yarn on your wrist, so you can, in theory, knit and travel. But the problem is, I plan on sitting and knitting. And this thing doesn't work unless it's hanging in the air. So the other option for this pull from the outside, which I don't normally do, is to stab it onto a pirouette, which means I have to carry the bloody pirouette, but it also means that my yarn pulls freely from the outside, and the ball does not roll off the table. I don't know which I'm going to do. I have a feeling I'm going to suffer through the first ball of yarn, pulling from the outside, and then I'm going to start pulling from the inside. But notions. I said I would talk to you about notions. This is a gift card can carrier, canister, whatever you want to call it. It's metal. It's magnetic. I stuck a magnet onto it, and I love the stitch markers from Coco Knits, so they stick. And no, I didn't bring all of them. I didn't pack all of them. I packed a number of them because I might need them. The pattern that I am working with is on my Knit Companion, and that means I can read the pattern on my phone, on my iPad, on my laptop. It's available. It does not track my progress on, it doesn't transfer my progress from one to the other. If I move my row counter on Knit Companion on my iPad, it doesn't move it on my laptop. They don't talk to each other like that. But I'll take it. consistently work with one device, pay attention. Then, what else have I got? Because the pattern has the key to the chart, I haven't finished my coffee, okay? Give me a minute. On like page 22, and I'm knitting from a chart on page 6, I actually made a copy of the key. And I even color coded it, because if you have something marked off in blue, you repeat it 1 time. If you have marked something off in green, you repeat it 2 times. And if it's marked off in red, you repeat it 4 times. But I wrote down a key so that I can quickly glance down into my notions box and verify that I remembered what that symbol means. And you really need that when you're on the first 25, 30 rows of the pattern, because you haven't memorized them. Also, in my notions box, because you never know, I have a little teeny tiny wooden knitting needle, but can you see? No, maybe you can, maybe you can't. That's actually a teeny tiny crochet hook. So if I drop stitches, I can rescue them. I have one of my cable needle shawl pin jewelry spirals. I love these. And because I picked them up before they were big news, sort of, I have one of the flexible cable needles, which can be used for all kinds of things, including holding stitches like a split stitch marker, because I don't actually like I don't like split stitch markers. I like safety pin stitch markers, but I cannot stand the little metal light bulbs. Don't get me started. They're too small, they're too fine, they split the yarn, and they've got points on them that will stab you. I have a couple of progress keepers that aren't really progress keepers. One of them says front, and the other one says back. They're just so adorable. And that's really the only thing I need to keep track of on this sweater. But because I'm purling on the back side, I don't mind purling. Yes, I know, but I don't mind purling. It's really easy to tell the front from the back, but these are just too cute and they're conversation pieces, so they're in there. Next, I have one T-pin and one ChiaoGoo needle gripper and 2 cable end stoppers, because you never know, and I'd rather have them with me. And these are the things that I really do use to rescue and to display and to do all kinds of other things. I will be wearing, because I always do, my needle sizing ring, but I also brought the little ChiaoGoo needle gauge, which also includes a ruler. And I have one yarn darner. And let's see if I can get this spread out on my hands so you can see it. There. A chain row counter. So that's what fits in my portable Notions container for this project, for this trip. Yes, this project, this trip. I would love to put in something like a golf pencil. Don't have any. Or a tiny pen. No, can't think of any. I used to, but it ran out of ink. They do that, you know? But that's notions. Watching other YouTubers who have been talking about their notions that they carry with them when they travel, I thought it was time. I've also got my point protectors, but they live on the needles and they don't live in the notions container, but they do fit in the notions container. I take them off and I put them in there when I'm actually knitting. Am I knitting now? No, I'm fidgeting with this thing, which isn't working right now because I'm not. You have to stand. I'm seated. Okay, so what is a hot take? A hot take is a potentially argumentative statement of your opinion. Would you come here? Puppy wants to play, not time. So I have saved up 3 hot takes that are mine. One statement is, whenever someone asks me the question, what are you making? When I'm knitting in public, they never actually mean, what are you making? They want some other piece of information about what I am working on, but it comes out as, what are you making? The most famous one, I'm on the bus in Minneapolis. I am knitting on the sleeve, and I'm about here on the sleeve, from the, I got long arms, cables, multiple needles, cable needle, 2 kinds of yarn. It's a fancy project. I'm knitting on my sleeve. Woman comes up to me, says, what are you making? And I say, it's a sleeve. Because the person prior to her had wanted to know what part of my sweater was I actually creating. So I'm like, this is a sleeve. This is not the body. This is a sleeve. So I answered her, it's a sleeve. She said, I know it's a sleeve. A sleeve to a what? I looked at her and I said, well, it's not the sleeve to a vest. And kept knitting. I'm sorry. But they want to know, what technique? Is that knitting? Is that crocheting? I can't tell. They want to know, are you using wool? Are you using acrylic? Are you using cotton silk? What is that? What are you making? Why are the stitches twisting? Well, this is a cable. I'm using a cable needle to move stitches from one side to the other side so they will twist. What are you making? My grandmother used to do that, and she called it knitting, but it didn't look like that. What is that? It's always a different question, and it always comes out, what are you making? That's my hot take on that. The second hot take I've got is that they always say, oh, you must have incredible patience. And I respond by saying, you only need patience to do things that you do not like. I don't need patience to do this. I love this. I want more time to do this. I don't need patience. Trust me. I'm not a patient woman. Oh, but you have to be patient. No. You only need patience to do things you do not like. I love to knit. I knit a lot. And I hope that you keep knitting. Just keep knitting. And subscribe and share and like and do all of that kind of stuff too. Because at some point, you gotta let people know. What are your hot takes? Share them with me. I will respond. And if you give me a really hot one, that's important to you, we'll talk about it more. Keep knitting.